What up, though? Good evening and welcome to another episode of Notoriously Opinionated. This is unscripted and unfiltered. Hey, I'm tell y'all right now. Uh, there are times I promise, like today, there are times I remember why I stopped doing this damn show. Like I really do. Like there are times that I swear, like today, that I remember vividly, very vividly, why I stopped doing this damn show. Y'all don't really understand everything that goes into doing a weekly show, right? All of the preparation that goes into it, all of the uh thought that goes behind it, all of the sacrifices that you make in order to uh try to put together a quality show with things that people will find beneficial, with things that people will find beneficial. Don't even worry about all that. So tonight I'm gonna be doing a slight dive into boundaries, expectations, compartmentalism, and the things that you need to kind of be paying attention to in your relationship, possibly to see if you're with the right person, and to keep your own mental health in check, right? So we gonna do, and I'm thinking, right? I think I'm gonna do, until I think of something else. I think I'm gonna do unscripted as my intro and unfiltered as my outro until something else shakes in my mind and I figure something else out. But here's one more thing I wanna tap on in the intro. I'm sick of this heifer Alexa. I really am. Because she get on my nerves for a variety of different reasons. Like when I ask her certain things and she be like, I don't know. Heifer, why not? Why don't you know? Like, the fuck is you even here for if you don't know? But what really got me bent with Alexa is this. Like 2 days in a row. I ain't gonna say 2 days in a row. 2 days in the last week. That's not true either. A few days over the last 10 days. I've asked this heifer what the temperature was gonna be, and she said it was gonna be like, if she say the high will be 83 degrees, it's 95. I'm like, the high will be 92 degrees, it's 107. I'm through messing with it. I'm through messing with Alexa. I'm telling you. So, let's get to it. I promise I'll be grooving. I ain't playing. I promise I'll be grooving during the intro. I love that music. That was a great selection to choose that as my intro. I how I want to do this. Need to put this disclaimer up there. Disclaimer: the thoughts and notorious opinions expressed on Notoriously Opinionated are the views and opinions of Notoriously Opinionated and not its individual members, meaning me, or anybody that I have on the show. These views may strike a negative or positive chord in you, but whatever shoe falls, if it fits, wear it. Point blank. Quit asking me what's in my doggone cup. I'm getting all these doggone things in the chat. Man, what's in your cup? Man, stay on topic. Quit asking me all this shit about what's in my cup. Stay on topic. Don't worry about what's in my cup. Talk about what we talking about. All right. So I'm gonna do y'all solid real quick. This is, now I was thinking about this today. What are some ways that you can know that you are in a pretty good relationship? Ask yourself some of these things. So, don't ask Alexa. Again, I'm on strike from this heifer. Shouldn't piss me the hell off. 83 degrees and it's 97. You was off by a whole 10 degrees. Like, it's real people that got better information. All right. First off, let's start right here. We have to realize that life is full, right? And there is an extent to life, right? And we need to live the length of it. But length is not the only dimension that you can measure something by. You got width, you got height, there's different dimensions. So don't just live the length of your life, live the width and the height of it too. Like, live all of the dimensions of life, not just the length of it. It's more to it than that, And so if you are living your life for somebody else, and that person is not living their life for you, you need to think about things. You know what I'm saying? I talk to my partners all the time, and these are some of the things that they complain about, that their success is not their partner's happiness. Like, they'll succeed in something and it's like a faux reaction. FAUX. It's a faux reaction. O meaning false, right? It's like, oh, I'm happy for you. No, you're not. Stop lying. So that's one of the ways that you can live the totality of the dimensions of your life. Who was it? Us, a Muslim brother. I don't know why I keep forgetting this brother's name. But prolific, profound brother. I listen to him all the time, and he says all the time how one of the most important decisions you'll ever make as a man is the person that you choose to spend the rest of your life with, your wife. most important. He said, other than this is, I think this is almost exactly what he said. He said, other than your relationship with the creator, the choice of who you choose as a life partner is the single most important decision you will make in your life. I agree. Right? And you cannot, yeah, you can. You should not waste your life in an insecure relationship. Um, if you are not going to trust your partner 100%, you either do so or let them go. One or two, because it's going to create problems, right, within the relationship. It how could it not? How could it not create problems if there's not 100% trust between both people? Like, he has to trust her, she has to trust him. You two must trust each other. Like, that's just kind of how it has to work for a relationship to flourish, right? An addendum to that would be this: there is absolutely, positively no way, which goes into what I'm gonna talk about in a minute, as far as the boundaries and the compartmentalization. That's a sesquipedalian word. Compartmentalization. Funny thing about sesquipedalian is just, don't get all hung up on it. Sesquipedalian is just a word that, it's a long word that means a long word. Anyway, so I'm gonna get into the compartmentalization, the expectations and the boundaries momentarily, but it's just not possible. I don't think. It may be, but I don't think so. I don't believe it's possible for a person to be in a healthy relationship with someone else when they're in a toxic relationship with themselves. If somebody can make that make sense, like, how you can be in a toxic relationship with yourself and be in a healthy and thriving relationship with a whole other entity that got demons of their own, that they need to, that they got traumas of their own. But you can be in a whole healthy relationship and be toxic within yourself, right? I don't know how that works. Now, granted, everyone has issues. Everyone has their particular trauma that they are working on daily to try to remedy. But that's the point. Therein lies the point. They are working daily to remedy their issues. They are working daily to remedy their problems, right? If you are not working, it goes to, like Chris Rock said, the example that I use all the time, like, two people can easily carry a couch, but one person, I don't care if it's the person who can lift 400 pounds, he's going to struggle. That's not a knock on the women. If you can lift 400 pounds, I mean that example for you too, right? But it's going to be difficult for one person to carry the, and it may not even be difficult. It's just easier when both parties help carry the load. That's it. But insecurities can cause that to just feel like it is overwhelming, right? All right. So don't try not to deal with insecure relationships. Live the length, the width, and the height of your life. Um, if and here's something that I now I don't know. I guess it happens. Uh, and uh, I guess it's happened to me in my life. Um, and at the time it was happening, I didn't know how to deal with it, so I dealt with it poorly. Uh, but this goes more towards a younger generation because I'm older and I know how to deal with it now. Uh, were it to happen, but if somebody ghosts you, just let the dead rest in peace and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's another way if you're in a really good relationship. Like, if your partner is always ghosting you, just respect the dead, keep moving. KIP, keep pushing. Uh, if you're dealing with somebody that doesn't want to deal with you, then you might need to figure something else out. Because I'm gonna allow that to be the segue into expectations. So I've been doing a whole lot of reading. It's been reading some light study on expectations and boundaries. I'm already kind of proficient in compartmentalization because that's what I do. I compartmentalize. Like, I will put things in a compartment. It's a defense mechanism. I understand that. you know, um, but I wasn't as well versed in boundaries. Expectations, yeah, to a degree. I was kind of up on it, but it was even things about expectations that I was unfamiliar with, right? So I read a few things. Now, I'd always said, I even had a quote: expectation breeds disappointment. Expectation breeds disappointment, because of what I've come to find out, that expectations are when someone is trying to exert control over something or someone else for their own needs, right? So that's my definition of expectation based off of everything I've read and thought. Versus boundaries are a standard that a person has for themselves that will allow them to be treated in a way that they deem appropriate. Those are boundaries. So a boundary is something that you indicate and acknowledge for yourself. And expectation is something that you exert on someone else. Expectation is a form of control of something or someone else, while a boundary is a form of control that you would have for yourself, right? Boundaries good. Boundaries good. Expectations not so much. Compartmentalization, that's a horse of a whole different color. Like, compartmentalization occurs when someone sets aside certain emotions that they're unable to deal with at a particular moment, right? So it's like, okay, uh I can speak for myself. I will compartmentalize what's going on at work when I come home. So it's like I'll be at the house and I will put whatever happened at work in its own compartment the hell over there, because I don't want the stress and the drama of what happened at work to affect what I'm trying to accomplish at home. And then I'll go to work and I'm gonna deal with that. But I'm gonna compartmentalize whatever it is that I may be going through at home so that I don't take that to work. So and you compartmentalize in relationships too. You know what I'm saying? Like you can definitely compartmentalize when it comes to relationships. So we'll put, all right, so say you grew up say you grew up a Republican, right? Say you grew up a Republican and you say to yourself that you would never date a Democrat, right? Would never date a Democrat. But then you find yourself in love with a Democrat, right? So almost everything they say irks the hell out of you, right? And so you have to compartmentalize how you feel about what they're saying so that you don't say the wrong thing, right, in response. So and it's necessary to a degree, you know what I'm saying, because I mean, if you're a good person, you don't want to intentionally hurt somebody's feelings, and so you will make an exception for their feelings, and you will compartmentalize how you feel, and you will set that aside, and you'll deal with it whenever you can, you know. So that's what I do. I have been a compartmentalizer for decades, you know, and I'm cool with it. Personally, I'm cool with it. I do not necessarily, I don't like unrealistic expectations. I don't like expectations of others that they are not aware of. And I tell this story all the time. I had a homeboy, my homeboy Lil Damon, and he told me decades ago, I'm gonna kind of change the context of how he was, of why he was telling me this, because if you know, you know, and if you don't know, it's none of your damn business. But he was telling me, homie, like it's difficult for us to kind of live up to your expectations if we don't know what your expectations are. I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, man, when we do something that goes against what you expected us to do, you get mad at us, right? And you know, we don't know how to react, but we don't know what it is you expect because, you know, you're not communicating that. You can't get mad at somebody for not living up to an expectation that they didn't know was an expectation. So it's like, if you don't have the wherewithal to express what it is that you expect of someone else. Here's where I believe that expectations can be acceptable. If you express your expectations to someone else and they say, okay, I will take on your expectation because I believe that I can fulfill that. But here also is what I expect of you, right? This is what I expect of you. Why did I freeze? What the hell? I froze on the screen as well as in real life. So there's a screen that I have that shows me moving to myself in real time, and that even stopped. So in the words of Jill Scott, I am thoroughly confused. But the timer is running, so I don't know what's going on. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to pause station identification. I'm gonna see what in the hell Restream got going on here, and I will log back on for the second half of Unfiltered and Unscripted on Notoriously Opinionated here momentarily. I'm gonna see if this works. Nope, that didn't work. You may not be saved. Okay. Restream, what do y'all got going on here? Alright, I'm about to do something. I don't know if this is gonna work, but we're gonna see. People really be thinking I'm like tech savvy now. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I be pushing buttons and hoping for the best. I'll be like, hold on, let me see if I can work this out. What would happen if I push this? What's gonna happen if I tap that? If it work, it work. If it don't, it don't. I'll be giving it my so I will say this about myself. I will kind of work it out in my head and be like, if I'm gonna push anything, it's gonna be this, right? If I'm gonna push anything, it's gonna be this. Hey, Auntie, how you doing? That's what I be doing. I would take a mental assessment. I would take my what I call it, my cost benefit analysis. But at the same time, once you reach the point of I could care less what happens, and you had already came up with your alternative plan A. That's what I call it, an alternative plan A. I don't have plan Bs. I just don't. I don't have a plan B. Like, my plan B is to complete plan A. That is my plan B. Like, I come up with what I want to do, and I either accomplish that or I don't. There is no plan B. Like, I don't have okay, well, if this don't work, then I'm going to go for a subset of that, and I'm gonna damn that. If I don't accomplish plan A, then I'm gonna scrap that and come with a whole new plan A. Damn, a plan B. I don't, I'm cool. I'm just gonna scrap the whole thing and come up with another plan A. Anyway, where was I at before Restream decided that it was gonna freeze the whole thing? Okay, recalibrate. Where was I at? Y'all can help if you was paying attention. Y'all can tap in to the chat and text something to remind me where I was at, because my mind goes tangential, and I don't remember where I was before I forgot. All I know, I remember I was telling y'all about the story about expectations. So I do believe that if two people can agree that, hey, this is what I expect of you. Okay, now what do you expect of me? And both people agree with what it is that is being expected of them. Okay, that can be healthy, right? Because I don't think anybody is going to agree to something that's unrealistic. But when it is a one-way expectation, 9 times out of 10, that expectation tends to be highly unrealistic, and can go off the rails really quick. All right, so what's another thing that would say that you are either in or not in a good relationship? I used to hear all the time to be the change you want to see in the world. I used to hear that a lot. Be the change you want to see in the world. So that being the case, stop looking for the right person, right? Be the right person and trust that the law of attraction is going to bring that person to you, right? But it kind of goes back to that. Is it the first one? Yeah, it kind of goes back to the first one, to where it's like it's going to be difficult for you to be in a healthy relationship when you have an unhealthy relationship with yourself, which goes to boundaries. Because if you don't have any boundaries, like I didn't have before the last week or two, if you don't have boundaries and you don't have a limit as to what you allow other people to do to you, then that is similar to just getting on a horse with no reins, smacking the horse on the ass, and the horse just takes off. The horse is going to take you where it wants to go, and you have no control over where you end up. You just end up where you end up. You end up where the horse takes you, because you didn't have a boundary that said, hey, horse, I'm going to take control. You're going to go where I want you to go, and that's it. If I want you to stop, you're going to stop. If I want you to go, you're going to go. If I want you to turn left, you're going to turn left. If I want you to turn right, you're going to turn right. But you're going to go where I want you to go, right? We ain't just going where you feel like going. That's not fair. The most profound question I ever heard in my life, that was asked to me, rather. The most profound question that was ever posed to me was very simple. It was a very simple question. The question was, who are you? Who are you is one of those transcendental questions, right? It will transcend who you believe you are when you hear it versus when you actually come up with the answer. It took me 10 years to understand what the answer to that question was. And I'm not going to tell you how I figured it out. But it was a brother that asked me that question 30 some odd years ago. Little brother, who are you? The hell you mean, who am I? I know who I am. You don't know who I am. I just met you. I know who I am. Well, who are you then? I got to rattling off all these different answers. It was like, nah, that's the name your mama gave you. Nah, that's the name some slave master gave you. Nah, that's the name some street dudes gave you. Nah, that's who you believe you are. Who are you? After I done rattled off probably about 8 or 9 different answers, I relegated to the fact that I'm like, I don't know. I don't know who I am. During the path of me figuring out who I am, I came to understand that if I didn't figure out who I am, then how could I figure out what I wanted? How did I know what I really truly wanted if I didn't know who I was? If I didn't know who I was, if you don't know who you are, then how do you know who you want? If you don't know who you are, then how do you really know the type of person you want to be with? You truly have no clue. You got an idea, based off of superficialities, based off of externals. Ladies, you want some dude that's 6'3" with locks, pretty white teeth, no gaps, a hairline that's up front. No sense of humor, don't never smile. You know what I'm saying? He says some disrespectful shit, you just laugh. But he got a lot of money. Well endowed is iffy. Like, it's like the more money you got, the less you care about how well endowed he is. But is that what you want? Is that really what you want? Right? Or is that what society tells you that you should want? Like, what do you really want? Like, who are you to where you will be able to decide exactly what it is that you want and don't want? And men, who are you? And what do you want? Like, do you want somebody that's 5'5", thick in the thighs? You know what I'm saying? Like, what exactly do you want? Big booty, large breasts, pretty face, dumb as a box of rocks. Cause then she'll listen to you and believe all that bullshit you saying. Like, what is it that you really want? You don't know, because you don't know you, right? Once you figure out who you are, you'll be able to go a longer way in figuring out who you want to be with. Until then, you really don't know. If someone likes you, you will know it. If somebody likes you, you'll know it. And if they don't like you, you're just gonna be confused. You're gonna be like, the hell, do they like me? Do they not like me? Like, where are we at? You're gonna be constantly asking them, where are we at? But if they like you, there's no doubt. Okay, let's get back to this this journey of compartmentalization, expectations, and boundaries. So when you set boundaries and you set the limits for yourself, you are by and large creating this healthy habit for yourself, right? And by not allowing someone's expectations to whittle you down to nothing, you're also taking care of yourself, which is another thing. Your self-love needs to always be stronger than the desire for somebody else to love you, so you have to have enough self-respect and self-esteem. Like Cat Williams said, it's the esteem that you got for your damn self. That's what self-esteem is. It's the esteem that you have for yourself. Do you have self-esteem? Do you have any esteem for yourself? I had to I had to tell the kid this morning, and I ain't gonna go into all of the details because it pissed me off when it pissed me. I might tell it. Hold up, let me think. Okay, so here we go. So there's a child that came up and said, "Hey, this child called me black African monkey." The other child said, "I didn't say that about him. I was talking about myself. I was talking to myself. I wasn't even talking to him." Okay, child number one, you vamoose. Child number two, check this out. Stop it. You will have to learn right now at 8 that you should take the gloves off and stop punching yourself, right? Dave Chappelle calls it punching down on people. Don't punch down on people. But most importantly, don't punch down on yourself. Trust me, the world will punch you enough. You don't need to punch yourself. Stop punching yourself. That bothered me. I'm getting bothered right now, just reliving it. But it was upsetting. Because it's a black child calling himself in a derogatory way African. Anything that is derogatory is gonna piss me off, and that goes to the whole self-hopelessness and helplessness syndromes that a lot of black people exhibit, and then they put it off on their black children. Right, that's upsetting. So, don't know where I was going with that. It just pissed me off. But he was just punching down on himself, and I ain't like that, But I'm gonna get back into this whole. You know what I'm gonna do? Instead of compiling all three of them over the course of the next 3 weeks, I'm gonna talk about boundaries 1 week, expectations 1 week, and compartmentalization a 3rd week. I don't care if I have guests. I said I was gonna have guests in August. I don't feel like reaching out to nobody. I just don't. I just really don't. I don't feel like reaching out to nobody right now. Like, I'm having fun. I'm having fun doing what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. I really don't feel like reaching out to nobody. I just don't. And when I do, I will. And if I don't, I won't. Right? But for these last few minutes we have together before I call it a night and take my ass to sleep, because I've had a long day, it's just some questions that you need to ask yourself, that I believe you should ask yourself. You don't have to. It's up to you. It's not an expectation. To just put it out there. Do you feel secure with the person you're with and are able to happily commit to them? If not, you got to ask yourself certain questions, right? If you feel the need to hide certain things from the person you're with, either how you feel or something that you're thinking or whatever it is you may have going on in life. Now, here's what I'm gonna say about that too. I'm gonna qualify that by saying this from a man's perspective. Ladies, there's different ways that men answer questions of yours. Like, if you come to us and you ask us, hey, babe, what do you think about this? We can give you the I'm your man response, or we can tell you what we really think. It's up to you. If unprompted, we're gonna give you the I'm your man response, right? An example. Babe, how did you feel about the chick flick that we just spent the last 3 hours watching? The I'm your man response. That was a fantastic movie. I loved every minute of it. The truth. I mentally checked out in the first 15 minutes. I could have cared less about what that heifer had going on. That's not my kind of movie. Just keeping it a book. Now, the other side of the coin, y'all do the same thing because a lot of y'all don't like Marvel movies, knowing what we do, right? So a lot of y'all tolerate the Marvel movies. Those of you who don't like Marvel movies, because there are women that actually like Marvel movies. Thank bless you. Thank God for you. But for those of you who do not like Marvel movies, knowing that we like Marvel movies, you will sit through the Marvel movie and you will give us the woman response. You will give us the good woman response. How'd you like, what'd you think about Wolverine and Deadpool, baby? Oh, it was nice. It was nice. I liked it. Stop lying. We know you didn't like it, but we do appreciate the fact that you're willing to lie to us and tell us that you did. You know what I'm saying? Don't lie to us about serious shit, though, right? Don't lie to us about serious shit. Like, keep it a buck with us on serious shit. But if you really didn't like Wolverine versus Deadpool, just tell us that you did. We can keep moving. No harm, no foul. And we will tell you that we like The Notebook. I've never seen The Notebook. Now, I'm different than a lot of dudes because I'm not just a dude. Like, I'm a movie maker. I make films. And so I watch movies with a whole lot of different. So I could watch a chick flick and watch it for more than just what my girl is wanting me to watch it for the whole sentimentality of it. That ain't why I'm watching this movie. I'm trying to see how the cinematographer got this shot. You know what I'm saying? So if you ask me if I like it, I'm gonna be like, hell yeah. Not because of the reason that you like it, but I like it because of the reason that I like it. You didn't ask me why I liked it. You asked me, did I like it? Yeah, I liked it. It was cool. So I might have to watch The Notebook one of these days. Or not. So and I'm gonna get into some of these a little later too, because I ain't about to go off of all this random stream of thought that I got about if you in a right relationship or not. That ain't about to happen. But yeah, matter of fact, I'm gonna stop right there and I'm gonna hold that. Like I said, I'm gonna do, I don't know in what order I'm gonna do it, but it's gonna be compartmentalization, it's gonna be expectation, and it's going to be boundaries. And I'm gonna do a deeper dive into all three of them. This was kind of the intro because I found boundaries really interesting and fascinating to even look at, juxtaposed against my own tendency to compartmentalize things, because that's just what I do. Like, I got my little building blocks, I got my little burners. I'm even going to my 4-burner theory, right? It's like and a quick intro into my 4-burner theory is like this. So it's just like a stove. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 burners, right? And within those 4 burners are different things that mean something to you, right? And they all have different percentages to them, So say your four burners consist of physical health, relationships, education, and career, right? Those are your four burners. What I say? Health, physical health. Nah, we ain't just gonna go. Yeah, because we gotta go. We gotta specify. So, physical health, relationships. Gotta specify the relationship with the your relationship with your significant other. That relationship, because there's different relationships. Like I say all the time, there's various different kinds of relationships. But in this particular instance, we're talking about the relationship with your specific significant other. Health, physical, relationship, significant other. Education, things to try and learn, and career. You may be going through something in your relationship to where you feel like you need to spend a lot of time remedying and rectifying the things that are going on in your relationship. So you want to spend 65% of your energy and your time and your effort on your relationship. So if you're spending 65% of your time dedicated and devoted to that, that leaves 35% of you to be spread out within the rest of those other three areas. Right? So what's your next most important? You got 35% left. You got your physical health. You have your career was over here, and over here was education. Okay. So at this point in time, you may not be tripping about education, right? You're not tripping. Education gets 5%, right? You got 30% still to go in between career and physical health. You may not be in the greatest of shape right now. So you need to put some effort towards your physical health. So you put 20% over here. That leaves 10% that you can devote towards focusing on your career. 6 months from now, your relationship may be fantastic. So now you can recalibrate. So now you need to go ahead and focus more on your physical health so you can get back in shape. So you put 55% over there, right? So you add, what was over there? 20%. So you add another 35%. So now you got 35% over there. Make it 60. Make it round. Round 60 on physical health. Now you got 40% to go along. You see where I'm going? Burners. So I'm gonna go into that too on future episodes of Unscripted on Notoriously Opinionated. Until then, what? Let me see if I got some shout outs. All right. Let me shout out. So shout out to my guy Kasha, man. That's my producer on the film projects that I'll be working on. This shit gets hectic sometimes just because of how it is, and I hate to sound like this because I sound like him, but it is difficult at times shooting films in Kansas City, right? But I will say this: it's like people say it's hard to find a good mate in Kansas City. Neither one are really true, and both of them are absolutely true. But it just depends on one thing. Where are you looking? Where are the people coming from? So if if the bevy of people that you're selecting from are your friends and family, and you think that they are about to act like professional actresses and actors, you have an unrealistic expectation of these people, right? If you think that you are about to find your future husband or your future wife in the strip club, you have an unrealistic expectation. Just saying. So if you are not looking at and or for professional actors and actresses, then yeah, it's gonna be difficult to produce a good product in Kansas City, just because there's just not a lot of professionalism if you are not trying to be a professional. Same way in the dating pool. If you if you're not looking in the right places, you're not going to find the right things. It's like you going to the produce aisle looking for Reese's. That's not where the Reese's are. I can tell you where the Reese's are. I know where the Reese's are. They in the candy aisle. I can tell you where the Reese's are. They are in the candy aisle. They're not in the produce aisle. Trust me, they're not. So the good women and the good men. I'm not gonna say it's not good women and good. Okay, yeah, I am. By and large. But there may be a diamond in the rough. I don't know. I'm not gonna judge. But if I'm trying to find somebody that's intelligent, I'm talking about me. This is my personal notorious opinion. You can take it or leave it. But I am not going to go to the strip club trying to find a rocket scientist. I am going to go to a rocket science convention. That's just me. Anyway, so, like I said, I'm gonna break these down. I'm gonna compartmentalize all these different things. But shout out to my guy Johnny Waller Jr. Shout out to my guy Kamara, man. My hope, wish, and prayer is that one of these days my brother gets to come home. It pains my heart that my brother is still inside the belly of that beast. Shout out to 3MAKC, man, the homie Trey, man. What's up, my dude? Man, shout out to everybody that just that has something positive going on. I could care less what it is. If it's positive, you trying to do something for the city. If it's positive, you trying to do something for yourself, man. Salute. I appreciate that. So until next time, this has been your man of many names and monikers, and I will see you next week. Same notorious time, same notorious station, right here. Notoriously Opinionated, unscripted and unfiltered. And until next week, Wednesday. Until next Wednesday.